Local recording online. Deploying stream vectors. Reticulating splines. Charging ion cannons.
I'm blaming you for like the 15 million emails I have received over the last week about our privacy policies.
Oh, the GDPR? It's my fault now? Cool.
No, mine.
Oh. I mean, Hi, viewers!
Hello, people of the internet.
Hello.
I thought we were the people of the internet. They were the normal people, not of the internet.
Oh.
I thought, are we the foreigners?
So...
I feel like I should be breaking out into song, but it'd probably be copyrighted, so I won't.
Yeah, that's how you get demonetized. There's no money in musicals anymore.
We're already demonetized because we have no money.
Well, speak for yourself. Trish comes from a wealthy family.
I'm poor AF. Why do you think Sharkboy had to scavenge for his tech?
Anybody actually remember what happened last?
I do. At least, I presume I do.
I remember what we did in the
Please
very beginning.
enlighten us.
We hung around for a little bit, and we had the TTI techs evaluating the little drive with our friend on it. There was we spoke with Jacqueline Talrick, our handler at TTI, concerning the situation. And we were told that it would take several days to get everything worked out. We were escorted under heavy guard through TTI labs, restricted areas, and finally ended up in the cluttered and put upon the cluttered office of a put upon technician who is actually still currently in the process of examining the drive and taking a deeper look at what can be saved. But when last we were informed, it was not looking good. The part that I don't remember was the name of the technician we were interacting with. And then there was a doctor we were talking to, Dr. Chena. Forget how to pronounce that name.
Let me check my notes.
Doctor Strange? Dr.
I
Love?
may have been smart enough to write it down.
Dr. Pepper?
That was Scott Walters, a clouded leopard who was a data retrieval specialist. And that was Dr. Chena, who is a lateral snake, and who is an AI/digital personality expert. And these two are working on new things now. The drive, all the data you retrieved.
Yep. And we were looking at the possibility of looking at other vectors of approach, specifically ideas of, okay, say we can't recover the data on the drive, or at least these techs can't. Who do we go to? Who do we talk to? What do we do? Was a common refrain.
Mm-hmm.
But we have resources, we have a ship, and we have time. The question is, what next?
We had decided on a course of action. I don't remember what that course of action was.
Let me check my notes.
I hear a tick tapping.
It stopped. Oh,
Nope.
no, it's something on Rage's end.
Rage, do you have a bird?
Oh, that would be my fan.
Oh, okay.
It just sounds like a bird having fun to me.
Oh no, the bolts are a little bit loose, But that's that's the standard thing that you're supposed to do so that it doesn't rip itself out of the ceiling.
I mean, it. To be honest, it isn't that distracting now that I know what. Now that I know what it is.
I can always mute myself. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Does anyone remember what we had determined we were going to do?
I cannot.
One thing I am going to say,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to roll for it or anything, is that the guy who is kind of your direct employer / superior right now might appreciate an update.
Yes, that was right. The guy that you guys don't trust for some reason, because I don't know. He seemed perfectly trustworthy to me.
All right, that's what it was. Yeah, I think that's what we agreed on.
Yeah, I don't think Trisha's really met them. I mean, she may have talked to them to get here, but that's about it.
She met him briefly before at the Historical Society.
Ah, that guy that made us get the disc way back when.
No.
No?
Nope.
Yes.
I am
Hi,
lost.
Cal.
We have an order.
Hello.
So he didn't have direct involvement in all of that. At the time he was just the person who was there. No, but basically one of the members of the Historical Society.
So we're not live yet?
No, we're live.
We are in
We
fact live.
actually are live.
Oh.
Say hello to the people of the internet.
Hello.
Which makes us not people of the internet.
No, we're all Luddites. Just kidding. Just kidding. I would die.
And foreigners, yeah. Oh no, foreigners. Okay, so we're gonna quick wrap up. Catch up. We're gonna talk to Boss Man and give him updates, and he's presumably gonna tell us what to do.
Hopefully.
But I don't remember what happened last session. And quick little recap of what happened at the very end.
We just did that.
Sorry.
We basically found out that it would be difficult to save what was left of Livy on the drive, if not impossible.
Yeah.
Spoke to some people in the Spear of Heaven's restricted sectors, and did a little bit of research of our own. Kind of came up with nothing, and then we kind of collectively decided that as much as a lot of people don't, as much as pretty much everyone but Kura doesn't trust our employer, we might as well give them an update on what's going on, because he has more resources.
Yep. I remember maybe about a third now. I'm still waking up.
And then Trisha's helping you build some kind of disco bowl for your pet.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yep.
about
For the pet.
Because Kura was like, "Come on, man. You need to think this through. People and bioprobes need to breathe. It needs holes for air." But yes, contacting our boss man.
Director Bauman.
Yes, Dr. Bauman, thank you.
Guys,
Director, not doctor.
director. He's in charge. He's not a doctor.
He's a director. What
And no,
movie are we?
that's
I mean,
Silver.
as far as you know, he might have a doctorate, but he doesn't use it. So
Well, it's not in his title, so he can hack it.
Okay, so what are you going to tell him? Don't need a full report, just in general. What are you telling him? And keep in mind, this is gonna be a message. He's on Venus. There's no direct communication.
Kura is going to motion to the others to just tell him pretty much everything because we have a lack of resources right now.
Yeah, we found the ship graveyard. There was obviously a battle. We didn't find survivors, but we did find the I'm blanking on the name of the bug things.
Nymphs.
Yes, nymphs. We found nymphs. Do we tell him about Libby?
I mean, Kura.
I would say that we might not necessarily say her name, but I would definitely say that we need to report that we recovered data that may have been important to the mission, the original mission.
Yes.
And that he may need somebody to look over that. Because let's face it, he's gonna do that either way. So if it comes from us, then we might get some degree in, hey, let us know what comes of it or something. I don't know.
Right. I mean, Kura's all for just telling him kind of the truth of, like, yeah, we found the person we were looking for, but she's stuck in a drive or something. But that's kind of up to you guys.
I mean, hi, security paranoid person here. I would try to avoid any specifics as much as possible. Like, word it in such a way to where he'll get it, but someone listening in would be like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
Exactly. That's the big thing, is because it is a message, it's going to be intercepted. That's not it might get, no, it will.
It's going over a wireless communication. Unless HSD has severely modified the laws of physics, someone else is going to read that.
There's no wire communication between Europa and Venus.
Someone strung a cable.
I am fairly confident in saying that. I don't have word from Steph on this, but I'm gonna go out on Olympia and say no. They didn't lay a wire between different planets.
I'm imagining a giant wire connecting each planet, and they're all acting like billiard balls around the sun.
Honestly, all I can see in my head is fucking a spaceship trying to go a direction and then getting caught in the wire and then reeling in another direction.
I mean,
damn it! And there goes Mars's internet connection again.
I mean, maybe that's what the Ruby Spire is. Maybe the Ruby Spire is just an effort. It's just an effort for a sweet, like, instantaneous communication network startup.
Yeah, who knows?
Very
Maybe whispers are into disco.
You mean the colonists on the moon complained about the slow connection, so they... Well, okay, yeah, we'll just wire it directly to the network on Earth.
Exactly.
Oh no.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Point is, physics still works, so someone else is going to read it.
Plot twist, Hydra is Comcast.
No, they're AOL.
Much sense.
That's a plot twist? I thought that was just the case. I thought everyone knew that.
Anyway.
We have too much fun over here.
Yes, we're clearly having way too much fun with this.
But since
I will agree that, kind of put it in general terms, just kind of say, hey, this is where we're at, this is what we're working on right now. Kura is kind of going to leave the wording to you guys because, again, like, he cares, but he's not sure about any of the specifics of what's going on, so he's kind of like a little hands off.
Julius heard everything, so he's going to try to put into the message about the blueprints for the disco ball for his pet.
Oh my god. Well,
gosh dang it.
and ask for an opinion.
Milo has already put in his 4 cents adjusted for inflation, so
adjusted for inflation.
And I think that would already be accounted for in the using the
Exactly.
ledger system, but you know.
Oh god. Everything's on the blockchain. I just realized this.
Trish just kind of lets you guys do your things, and she's still trying to come to grasp of what exactly was all going on, exactly what you guys even found. She's not fully up to speed yet herself.
Okay, that's out of my system now.
So yeah, compile the message and send it off.
Okay.
Beep.
About how long would we have to wait to receive a reply there?
That is a good question. If I
It would probably be a couple of days at least, probably a little longer if because unless you're using Lumen Tech, nothing is FTL.
no Lumen Tech. That's right. Okay. That takes. Okay, I'm gonna say let's average this out. I'm gonna say it's gonna take about 15 minutes to an hour for the message to actually get there.
Oh,
So
okay.
it takes two sneezes.
Just because of the distance. Just that's just, you know, the sheer distance, and then of course you need to wait for him to actually get the message and reply. So it will probably take a couple of hours at
Okay.
least.
That's not terrible though.
Yeah. I forgot to ask
Okay.
if there was any encryption protocols between that
Probably.
Bowman may have set up.
There actually probably is, but you don't need to do any rules or anything for that, because that would be set up for you. You would just be, you know, write the message, press this button, then press send, and everything's fine.
Oh, we're
Yep.
using Enigmail. Cool.
But the next question is, are there dial-up noises?
No.
Oh, I hope not.
Okay, so the message is on the way. What are you going to do in the meantime? If anything, you don't have to do anything.
That's a good question. I have a lot of money I could spend.
Yay, capitalism.
Yes.
Capitalism. Oh, that's what I forgot. I forgot to pull up my character sheet. I knew I was forgetting something. Whoa, it looks different now.
Let's see.
It's all strange and new, and I'm confused. Okay, there it goes. I'm confused and scared.
I think Kura is mostly going to be helping Milo with his personal project, but he's also going to be doing some of his own research into personality copying and brain scan recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So, essentially researching into other avenues of how might we go about this. And let's see, I don't really have any focus abilities that would help with that, unfortunately. But
all right.
I could probably build a really sweet robot body, but that's kind of it.
Look at this hot robot body. No, I mean literally, look at it. It's almost on fire. We should probably do something.
Yeah.
I probably should have put heat sinks in it. On the other hand, I could put heat vents and it could have flamethrower arms.
Could I put a...
Okay.
Would a flamethrower go well on the disco ball?
No.
No.
God, no.
Throw a strobe light locked inside of the disco ball, and then, making it change colors. Now you're talking.
Yeah, but
Kura,
Yes.
what's the pet's name?
please give me a mind perceive logic roll.
I can do that. Let's see. That's.
Don't do it though.
I have a boon and 3
Okay,
ranks.
that's right.
So, boop, boop. Physics dice, go. 14, 6, 10.
Okay. Yeah. You just basically go online, go to I don't know, BrainScan Wiki, and and read up on this. No, since you wrote really well, you don't go to Wikipedia. You go to actually legitimate sources. Not saying that Wikipedia isn't legitimate, but hey, everybody can write something in it. So
Yeah. He's actually gonna look into like some ASR like theory.
Probably even get some actual source books or well, not source books, but some actual textbooks and such things. And oh boy, that is complicated stuff.
He's just gonna be completely engrossed by that, mostly because he suddenly finds it utterly fascinating.
From what you heard, and to make this perfectly clear, even though you did roll really well and you're probably spending some time on this, you are really just scratching the surface of this, And from what you can learn, the consensus is if the data is damaged, it is extremely unlikely to. Well, you depending on the extent of the damage, you can get a working personality construct out of this. However, the personality will likely change. And from a so much that actually from a legal point of view, they would not be considered the same person anymore.
Interesting.
Just because there's the legal ramifications are a whole different matter. That's they're basically the discussion on that is still going, because there were cases where the only remaining of somebody was a damaged personality construct, and then is this still the same person? Do they own all the stuff they owned before and everything? That's
Right.
a whole different different thing. But basically, for a reincarnation, whatever, I forgot what it would be called. For bringing a person back, a damaged personality construct would not be considered viable.
Okay.
Even if it could be, even if it would still be functional, but it, that in that sense it wouldn't be considered the same person, because legally you couldn't use it for that.
Oh my god, I want to see the case law for this.
It's actually really interesting.
I'm
Now,
thoroughly fascinated.
Kura is going to have a little bit of a brainwave, coincident with me remembering something that I forgot to ask. The terminal that the body was hooked up to, was it SoulNet linked?
Not directly, no.
Could it have been at any point?
The base itself did have like not a permanent connection, because it was very out of the way. The only reason they still could have SoulNet access was because they were still in the Jovian system, which does have.
Right. Because my thought was, it's a bit of a long shot simply because it's like, oh god, that opens up a big can of worms, but like, is there any possibility that that fragments of the personality could have ended up on the SoulNet somewhere, i.e. whatever server the base was connected to access the greater SoulNet? Or could something have gotten in to potentially have caused part of this?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. So Kuro's gonna scratch off that possibility, which does narrow the field a little bit. Kuro's like whatever he's using as his personal quarters is starting to look like the room of a paranoid, crazy conspiracy theorist, where it's just like pictures linked with only it's all holograms, but it's all like little like pictures and stuff linked by little color-coded lines and stuff.
Okay, Milo's gonna be distracted and working on his little project. Walk into Flectarn's room. You know, you're not paying attention. Go, what are you doing in my room? Wait a sec. These aren't my charts.
Yeah, I'm kind of busy trying to figure something out.
Milo's just gonna look around. This is what it's like when people. Okay. Have fun.
Yeah, a brief moment of self-awareness as he realizes what it's like to walk into his room as somebody who doesn't know what's going on.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's what that's like.
Okay. Anybody else got something they would like to do?
Sharish is just going to be kind of going through the supplies, making sure everything's good and we got what we need.
Mm-hmm.
Not much. I guess the stock keeping.
Okay.
Guy is busy feeling uncomfortable with all of the bio stuff around him. Does not like the idea of walls having eyes. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Milo's used to that, but not literally.
So in Guy's
It's
case,
more
it's paranoia. In Milo's case, it's uncanniness.
Mm-hmm. It's like,
That and let's face it, he is a small thing, and for whatever reason, there's a tiny itty bitty part of his brain which says small thing inside of big living thing means going to be eaten.
or already eaten.
Exactly. So part of his brain is just screeching at him, "Get out! Get out! Get out!" But it's a tiny. For lack of a better word, it's the tiny lizard part of his brain.
Going, no, that's wrong.
Well, that's what anyone will tell you is there's no documented case of a living being ever eating any of its occupants.
Yeah, no known.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
just means there was no
not
survivors.
documented because all the people that documented got eaten.
Milo's just gonna keep working on his little AI project, ignoring all of this at this point.
And I'm gonna say in this case it actually is paranoia because there's this at no points do you actually see any eyes or anything that in any part of the building itself that actually looks alive.
Oh yeah. It's one of those things where it's not because Guy has seen such, it's that Guy believes that's possible. And that freaks him the hell out.
And has seen such before.
That is fair. Okay. Okay. Well, does anybody else want to do anything of significance while you wait for your return message?
Work on disco ball.
Anything of significance, I said.
Not unless you want me
Just
to do.
about to make that joke.
I'm not sure if an hour constitutes enough to do a roll on the project.
I thought you were done with the project.
Was I done with it? I don't remember. Okay. Well, I guess I'm done with the project. Well, then Milo will give it the form we previously discussed of it is Shark Puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want it to have some kind of something before we're things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Milo's gonna walk around being followed by a shark puppy that's too dumb to understand what's going on yet. Because machine learning, it has to learn.
Okay, Milo has digital pet now.
Oh, it's adorable. And now it can play with the lamp dog.
Yes. So every so often,
Well,
because this is still not version 1.0, it'll just kind of flicker in and out of existence. It's not refined yet.
And
But
yet
it
it
is-
is adorable.
It is also very obviously a hologram.
Oh god, yes.
Still reminds me
It's
of the
barely
purple-
more than a wireframe.
Except Okami doesn't know. Always keeps wondering where to go.
All right. Well, you wait and actually have to wait for quite a while. It is. Actually, you have to wait so long. It is getting sleepy's time, and not until the next day do you get your return message, or rather, notification that message for you has arrived. It is.
Thank the stars.
It is basically waiting for you as you wake up. It is fairly brief.
Mm-hmm.
And actually not much beyond all right. Message received. Continue investigations. And okay. Actually, he does. There are a few recommendations about people you should talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And the what is his name? Scott Walters actually is a name on that as a data retrieval specialist.
Well, at least we have the right people.
Hooray! Is there any other line of inquiry anybody would like to follow up? Okay. A few options now. You can either wait and until the experts working on the data will contact you.
Mm-hmm.
You can do your own inquiries, and if you want to do that but can't think of anything, I will allow you to make a roll for basically character knowledge. anything your character might think.
Okay. Kura definitely does not feel good sitting idle as much as he's welcoming kind of the break from, getting shot at or hiking across toxic, barely terraformed terrain. He kind of doesn't like sitting on his loins while, nothing is happening.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
How much could read a book help us out here?
Read a book.
Read a motherfucking book.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid that, but okay.
I mumbled it. I'm so glad I shared that though.
We'll edit that in post.
What post?
Post processing.
You may recall reading or hearing about some specific piece of information applicable to the current situation, the location of a CEO's home, the brand of cigarettes a bouncer smokes, or the name of a guild or business that deals in something you're looking for, are all applicable. You cannot gain sudden knowledge of secret information, but obscure knowledge can apply.
We can probably do something with that.
Sounds like a step in the right direction, then.
Then Shark Boy will have read a book. I'm not. What book will he have read? This is the question.
It's like some children's book.
Mommy.
It's a children's book about what happens to cogs when they die. Just go full morbid.
Okay. I am. Okay. You using read a book to remind you that you have found very, very strong indications that somebody had been at that terraforming base before you.
Yeah.
And basically in the time span where it was apparently abandoned and where you got there. Somebody else had gotten in there, and somebody else had accessed the terminal where you found the remains of Libby.
Oh shoot!
You weren't able to tell what they did because it's all messed up and data fragments and everything.
We should probably tell that to the reconstruction specialist.
That's a fair.
In the meantime, could we pull Jovian's system flight path records to see if any ships passed by there recently?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can try that.
Yeah, Kura's gonna see if he can't schmooze with traffic control and see if he can't pull it for a valiant rescue effort.
Okay. How do you want to do that? What do you intend to roll? Because that would be a community roll.
Yes.
Because there's several ways of going about that. You could try and look it up on the soul map. What you said would be a different way.
I'm looking up on the Soulnet would be fine, but I have a feeling that those records might not be publicly available. Would Kura know that or not? He was a freighter, essentially a freighter captain for a living.
That is a point. Okay, he might have some insight.
Yeah, because I have the positive spacer background.
Fair point. Okay.
Julius was
And
afraid.
and
Captain.
actually, funnily
Well,
enough,
Captain.
he was based in the Jovian system, so this is kind of his home turf.
So he's
not-
a jovial fellow.
Yes, actually. Ganymede was his home turf, but I mean, it's same planetary orbit.
Yep. Okay. In that case, give me a community exert communication roll, please.
Community exert communication. All right.
Because, I mean, alternatively, could make it subterfuge as well if you want to. If you want to go more sneaky about it. Communication would be, just asking for it.
Kura's gonna take the honest approach first, even though he has a simplify in subterfuge. Yeah, he's a fairly honest person, a bit too honest for his own good. So he's gonna just straight up ask for the information.
Then it would be communication. Yes.
All right. Okay, not bad.
Thanks.
5,
Hot
13,
dice.
13.
Okay. Okay. It takes you a bit to find the right people to talk to.
Okay.
But eventually you can get I say fairly complete flight data of the applicable area and time.
Mhm.
I say fairly because I mean obviously not everything, I mean if GTI sends somebody out for secret missions, then obviously you don't get that. But
right.
and anything that's public, freighters, passenger liners, stuff like that. Everything of that nature, you get. There's no problem.
Okay. Makes sense.
Also private ships, which are obviously required to file plans.
Mm-hmm. Flight path information, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All of that you get. And this, although I should note, this is the information that they submitted. This is not actual surveillance data.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody deviated from the flight path, then that would not be reflected in this data.
Okay. But it's a start.
Yes.
In that case, yeah, Kura's going to examine the data and see if any of this looks like compelling information. Like, is there anything that kind of jumps out of him as like, oh hey, it's obvious that this ship landed within the time frame we're looking at, that sort of thing.
Well, of course you find the passenger liner that crashed around there showed up. Because it's a crash. There's a notation. Okay, this is the filed flight path, and there's a note here. Okay, incident, ship crashed on Callisto.
Mm-hmm.
And things like that.
Right.
That is. I mean, you had some. I don't remember if you got. But that is in the time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And let's think. What else?
Because another
Yes.
another pressing question would be, I guess, there was the crash, and there was the missing vehicles from the terraforming station, and then there was the other ship that landed on top of the cruise ship.
Mm-hmm.
The
You do not find anything about that other ship. You know, there's no indication about anything else within the time frame landing on or crashing on Callisto.
Okay. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kura's intuition there would be that is probably the pirate vessel.
Yeah. And I mean, you did take a brief look at it, and it did seem that way.
Okay.
And so, obviously, the pirates are not really known for filing flight plans. So,
And if they do, they're not exactly smart pirates.
Let me think anything else. There's not really much passing by that area.
Julius comes up and asks, "What are you doing?"
Julius comes up to Kura and asks,
I'm seeing if I can't cross-reference any flight plans, see who else could have been a witness or knows anything about this.
Looked up anything on transmission logs?
That's a pretty good idea.
And can you take a look at this blueprint for for the ball?
Okay. Thanks for the idea. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Just give me a minute.
and what were you saying, Tygon?
Give me a that we might perceive or might accept.
Both are the same for me. I have 3s across the board.
Okay, well,
What skill would it be, if any?
I'm gonna say logic or pilot.
I have a boon in logic, so I'm gonna go with that. If you don't mind. And roll the dice. Oh, well, that is a 9, a 12, and a 1. So I got a 15.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else canceled. It's
Okay,
pretty good,
that is still good enough.
That's a pretty
You do notice one thing that mostly stands out, because there's a note, there's a similar note attached to the similar to the one of the passenger liner, which is a Progenitus rescue ship which passed that area as well.
Oh.
And it is noted, but not because it crashed on Callisto, because it crashed on Europa.
A Progenitus ship crashed on Europa.
Yes, it was fairly big news, because that doesn't happen every time.
And they're pretty hostile towards each other.
Yeah.
Dude.
There were some a rescue effort. But only a handful of people were able to be rescued, because the ship, unfortunately, landed in an area where the ice was fairly thin, and it actually sank.
Ooh, that's kind of horrifying.
Yep.
Ugh.
It managed to crash through the ice. So yeah, only a handful of people could be rescued.
Well then, is there any listings of who was rescued from that ship?
Not in the data you have.
Okay, character knowledge time. Would Kura know if Progenitus does anything involving personality constructs, that sort of stuff, as part of their humanitarian like kind of outreach stuff, or is it like, would they have any interest in this as a company?
I want to say it's unlikely that they would have, because they don't have interest in terraforming. And
Right.
the whole personality thing, that is like not a new or particularly secret technology.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why there's these experts and everything, and the reason why you couldn't get like deep knowledge of it, is because it's really, really complicated.
Yeah.
But I mean, otherwise, that's a pretty figured out technology.
Right. So I guess from there, what? How would we get information on survivors from the ship? Specifically, to clarify for you, Tygon, specifically what Kura is looking for is a list of people who were rescued, to be like, essentially to talk to and be like, hey, this terraforming station, did any of you interact with it? Do you know anything about it? And I guess if he has to go through TTI channels to do it, because I know they're distrustful of Progendas and whatnot, he's just going to be like, yeah, no, like, I'm working for Director Bauman, and like, I need this information as part of my investigation.
Okay. Well, for one, that is definitely an option.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to try you basically make this official. The other way, and I'm not, normally I would make you do a logic roll for that, but this is something that I think would be obvious to your character.
Mm-hmm.
The news: a Progenitus ship crashed on Europa. That was in the news.
Yeah.
Definitely. So check the news feeds.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll just go back through the news archive, sitting there with my toggle case, scrolling, just scrolling. I actually do have my toggle on me.
Very nice. Wrong company though.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. Kura is not Marsco or ASR, but he does like Marsco products. Or he isn't Marsco or TTI. He actually likes, but he does like Marsco product.
I mean, yeah.
I need my Spyglass or ASR one, but it's in a box somewhere.
That metal one.
Anyway, however, to look for the news feeds, I would still like to see a roll, because this is a role-playing game and we roll stuff. I am gonna say mind perceive and either digital operate or protocol, if you want.
I have a Fulton protocol, so new.
I have big picture.
Oh.
That would work in this case.
Oh.
Can I roll to aid his big picture?
It doesn't need a roll.
Oh. Excuse me.
I mean, technically, I'm supposed to have a level 1 hack depth. I'm not sure what I'm hacking, but...
Yeah,
his
no,
brain.
we can waive that. In this case.
That's the one thing about this perk I don't understand is what am I supposed to get into?
It's because the big picture. That's because the big picture basically assumes that you get access to information that are not normally public available.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're what normally that gets you access to is like what the reporters are talking about, not what they're actually writing in their articles.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just I'm not sure what I'm expected to get into to get to that point. Is what I'm saying. I get what it do, not what it want me to do.
Not what it how.
Yeah.
However, before that, I would like a logic roll from Kura.
Okay. More logic. Boop. Boop.
You actually failed.
I actually failed a logic roll.
No. And you failed.
You didn't fail it badly.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still a 7 there, which is pretty high. So I'm gonna say this is taking you let's say 2 hours longer than it normally would have, because this is a success on this logic roll would have been, wait, Milo is good at this sort of thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This means you are looking and looking and looking for several hours before, damn, this is frustrating. I wish I knew somebody who's better at this. Wait, Milo, damn it, why didn't I think of this before?
Oh yeah, the shark boy.
Yep. Milo just finds Kura sitting like in his quarters. Like there's just stuff everywhere. His toggle case is limp in his paw, and he's just like in his computer chair, just so done.
Milo, help. This is taking forever.
And Milo is just like, it is probably the closest to OO face a shark can make. It's like, oh, this sounds like fun.
Well, they have those big black eyes, so they could probably sharks could probably do puppy dog eyes pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Also, now there is distraction that is Hollow Shark Puppy.
But who was phone?
So can I assume that while Milo is working, Kura and Julius are playing with a Hollow Shark Puppy?
Probably, yeah. They arranged a play date between the bioprobe that Kura has, which I've decided to name Fitz. F-I-T-Z.
Okay.
Arrange a play date between Fitz and Hollow Shark Puppy.
But Gerald.
Okay. Well, we are waiting for Raznir to get back. while Milo is working it, but by now it's a good part into the next day. You know, say let's say about 2 in the afternoon. You all get a message from your welcome back from your trusty data expert.
Oh,
That they have a few things and like to tell you. Could you come over, please?
okay.
However, Milo, you get into the news feed, so you find the thing about the crashed progenitor ship fairly easily. I mean, obviously Kura found it as well. He just couldn't find the details he wanted to have.
Mm-hmm.
And it does take you a bit, but eventually you do find a list of the survivors.
Oh.
Which is, as previously indicated, fairly brief.
Mm-hmm.
Only like a dozen or so.
Ugh.
Out of how many?
That's a good question.
That was a like not a huge ship, but a fairly big one. So a couple hundred probably. I'm gonna say.
Ugh.
Some of those survivors were you know, crew, Progenesis personnel, which have been after quarantine and everything, which just to be annoying probably took a little longer than it needed to.
Right.
Just to go to progenitors, were sent home. Oh, there's a couple of names who stand out.
I survived this crash and all I got was this t-shirt.
No. Which from what you can find out, Milo, this ship rescued from the surface of Callisto.
Oh.
Oh.
And
Kura feels somewhat irritated that Decqueen Talric did not inform us that a rescue ship had been out in Callisto's direction so recently. Well, recently.
In all fairness, she may simply not have known.
Yeah.
This is in comparison to the crash itself, where the people on the ship came from was minor concern.
Fair enough.
And what else?
I would
Yes?
like to ask something.
Yes.
So, just for clarification, you're saying it's unlikely that they would have known about that?
I'm saying she might simply not have known about it.
Might simply not have known about it. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I understood that properly.
Also, Jacqueline is your liaison. She's not expert on what you are doing.
Oh yeah, no. So she might not. But that begs the question:
Who might not?
Because somebody knew.
Mm-hmm. Whether or not it's a conscious, like, hey, we're keeping this information from you, or just a slip, something fell between the cracks, is up in the air and honestly irrelevant until we have clues to the contrary. But,
Well, yeah. No, the reason why I'm poking about that is I'm curious if there's a way for Guy to I guess get into the back channels, because it looks like everyone else is going through, you know, the legit needs, the legit ways of getting this information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Research on the internet, basically, and double checking for accreditation and stuff like that. I'm wondering if there's a way for a Guy to do a community or something to see if he can talk to people and get them talking about those sorts of things, and see if he can find some of the information relevant to them now that he has access to the right kinds of questions. Does that make sense?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So is that doable, or is that something that, just considering, you know, how close-knit, quote-unquote, they tend to be, and how close-mouthed they also tend to be, would that cause undue difficulty in actually managing something like that?
No, I would say that can probably be done. With the information Milo and Kura are managing to dig up, you can probably try to find a few people to talk to.
Okay. So guys, before I attempt this, what specific questions ought I to be asking?
Squeak?
Well, I mean, that is otter, but that's not the kind of ought I was referring to. Flecktarn said they were going to be back in a second, so...
Mm-hmm.
Well, by this time, Trisha's definitely finished taking inventory of everything that we have. Among the oddities that we have found are several failed hamster balls.
Failed hamster.
There's like one with no air holes, one's just completely solid and you can't see in it. One has electricity wired wrong, where the entire ball is just completely electrified.
And back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Hello! So... we have confirmed that it is viable for me to, ask about certain things.
Okay.
Essentially for clarification on the things you guys have gotten, but instead of going through the internet, going through people. You might learn something different, or at least about different details through that.
Makes sense to me.
The question I wanted to ask is, do you guys have any specific questions you think I should be trying to get answered through that way that might not necessarily be found through the internet?
Accounts from survivors on the terraforming station, or accounts from the people who witnessed it that may or may not have made it into the official reports due to sensitive material.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily like it's top secret, you can't find out about it. More, Yeah,
Hush, don't scare people and talk about it.
Yeah. Oh man, you would have never believed the nymph infestation. They were just killing everything down there. Like, no company wants that. People
Editing.
talking about that on the internet, So.
But if you're going through inside the company, people will tend to be a little bit more open.
Exactly. Or at least there's going to be a more clear narrative of what was going on that's going to be free of ulterior motives on behalf of the company. At least that's my thought on the matter.
If I may,
Yes.
I would like to finish something first, because these people who were how do you say, who were rescued from Callisto, they kind of disappeared for a few days, like just 2 or 3 days. Pretty soon after they were rescued from the sinking progenitor ship, and apparently, from what you find out, they made a trip to Ganymede.
Oh.
And returned with a whole bunch of other people. And the reason why you managed to find a lot about that, because it's another thing that kind of ended up as a minor news item, is that there were a whole bunch of blip girls who then there was a sort of it was a small news sensation, because all these girls, they needed places to go to, so there was I don't know what you would call that, but
Bid?
Not an auction. These they weren't sold. But they were basically people and companies could apply to adopt them.
Huh.
They made a bit of a show out of that. And that was by now that was I don't have the timeline 100% on, but that was probably like maybe a week, 2 weeks ago, the whole thing. Which in essence mean that this group, as well as all these little girls that they apparently saved there, these people have more or less moved on.
Right.
However, what you can find in the matter of people to talk to is the names of several people that could be contacted, people who were part of the rescue operation, people who were part of this whole show they did. Well, in essence, you do get a few names.
Okay. Cool. So that means I can kind of cross-reference.
But I mean, those would be people Guy could talk to.
Right. Cool.
I was about to say, is Cindy and Mindy on that list?
I don't know who that is.
There were a disturbing amount of names that ended in Indy.
In the meanwhile,
to another game.
In the meanwhile, Kura's going to give that information to Guy to help him. and he is going to go talk to our specialist who sent us a "Hey, you need to come talk to us" message.
Help!
All right. In that case, I need to know, because apparently we are splitting the party.
Oh no!
Who is going to the data specialist? Who is going to talk to people?
Data specialist.
Data specialist.
I guess I'll talk to people. Data kind of just goes over Trish's head, because she's just gonna stand there with like a blank stare on her face anyways.
Yes,
Or-
the
or-
odd-shaped goggles together.
Between me and Guy, though, and we're pretty half decent in a community.
I'm just imagining Guy riding around on Trish's back.
Hey, that was a thing at one point. That happened.
I imagine.
That actually happened before, yeah.
That you don't have to imagine. That's straight up canon. That happened.
Yeah, but that was probably
Guy was a
before.
slightly different shape back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's continue with Guy and Trish then. You have names, and that makes the people in questions relatively easy to track down.
We have names?
Namey names.
Names of people to talk to, yes.
Oh.
How do you want to go about this? Are you going it like official, like, hey, we do investigation, or are you trying to be more unofficial?
It's a reality TV show.
It's a reality TV show. You take that thought out of here. Get rid of that crap.
Excuse me.
I'd probably go at it a little bit more professional manner. At least Trish would try to.
You don't have to both go the same way. You can go about it different ways.
Good cop and gooder cop.
You know, are we competing for best doggo? Is that what this is?
They're all good dogs.
You also, since you have several names, you can split the party again and talk to several people at the same time.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Making a bad idea worse.
Yeah.
Or better.
That'd probably work, just kind of split it. Obviously, we're not going to be like able to call them up. We're just going to have to send out like column messages and stuff. Like, don't imagine any of them are within normal range.
No, at least some of them are. You are at the headquarters of TTI. You know, the important stuff is happening here.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, if they're close, then you'll probably give them a call. Here, do you want to start at the Cindy's or the Libby's or?
I think I should
Whatever
start with the
ease.
obnoxious amounts of ease.
But I'm afraid the various indies are not available.
Blah! That would have been a very hilarious conversation.
What's the
Well, that took up
the line in Hot Fuzz? You want to go through the whole phone book, talk to Aaron A. Aronson?
Well, if all the indies are not available, then I guess we will go to the other ones. I can't
Well,
remember any of the other characters' names in there.
The names you have for people to talk to are a few people who were part of the whole adoption show thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as an people who organized it and everything.
And I will say that I guess we're gonna have to go through this in a more official way, because if we do it unofficially, they're probably not gonna be talking to us.
That is very possible.
I specifically, I'm gonna put it under, we're doing an investigation on some missing persons under a similar circumstance as to the recovery.
Yeah.
And we would like, this might help us understand what happened with ours. Could you tell us a little about the crash and crap like that? Admittedly, we probably aren't going to be getting first-hand accounts, more than likely. But this might help.
What I wanted to add, and you also have a couple of names of people who were part of the rescue operation, of the crash progenitor ship.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
Let's try talking to them first.
Yeah, let's do the rescue operation first.
Alrighty. So, you are doing it official, and you are, actually officially employed by TTI for this business. So that makes it easier to get to the people instead of being a random person suddenly. Hey, can I ask you a few questions? So that definitely helps. This required a small bit of travel, but nothing too bad. Maybe an hour of flight, but nothing very significant. Eventually you track down the people. There's actually basically because it's a these are groups that usually stick together. They're like the crew of rescue ships and everything. So there's several of the people you need to talk to. You'll find basically in the same spot.
That's convenient.
Yes. Okay. Are you? So you already said you're making it official, and are you going to just outright, ask them, or are you more trying to weasel the information out of them?
Trish should honestly probably just ask them straight up. She's a bit direct.
But anyway, that is perfectly fine. That's a valid way of questioning somebody. Valid way of questioning someone. What about Guy?
What about Guy?
I didn't do anything! You can't prove anything!
If you're not doing anything, then I can't ask you to roll anything.
Oh, you can't prove anything! You'll never take me alive, Coppers!
Joke's on them, they don't have to take you alive. They'll just come back.
Son of a bitch. Okay. I think Guy's going, not necessarily to ask him outright, but I think he's gonna more weasel a little bit.
Okay.
More of, I'm not going to directly ask you some of these questions. Some of them I will, but some of them I'm just going to ask other questions that answer it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So subterfuge without lying?
More of, I'm going to ask you specific questions because I already know the kinds of answers I'm looking for. And if you answer no to this, I will know whether or not this other thing was going on.
In this case, I would like a community perceive communications role from Trish.
Communications proceed.
Yes. And a communications no, sorry, from Trish communications. From Guy, I would like a communications perceive subterfuge role.
So a community perceived subterfuge.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't hear that, Tygon. It sounded like a kind of my audio cut out a little bit.
Community exert communications.
Communications. Okay. Same difference.
Mm-hmm.
That spread of min, max, mid.
Wow.
Oh dear.
Fuck you guys. The first dice I've rolled in weeks, and it's just like, hey, fuck you. God. I'm going offline. Screw this.
So you go to
Can I
ask,
just...
you go to answer the question. You go to ask like, "Hi, may we come in for an interview?" But instead they open the door and guy just like and runs away. Sudden bout of social anxiety.
There are
No,
people,
it's-
other people, run as fast as your tiny doggo like.
You just see like a micro lover stands dog and like
no, it's not quite that. It's just that these you know, I don't want to say grizzle, but these guys, you know, they're professional rescue people. They have seen everything, and this fluffy dog thing in a weird shape they just can't take serious. They say, well, seriously, what are you? What really?
Rude.
So I'm afraid Guy is not able to really retrieve any useful information.
But what he does now have is a severe case of I want to put several people in a hospital. One of them wanted to give me to her daughter as a pet. I'm going to murder someone.
Trish, you are faring a little better. And yeah, they can confirm. Yeah, they got a few people out of there. It's and they obviously said that they weren't able to rescue more. But it was, I mean, they did the best they could under the circumstances. The ship was already, you know, taking on water, and they basically just had a few minutes. They also, to their own surprise, they actually weren't able to find that many people.
That's so. Never mind. I'm not there. I can't ask questions.
so they weren't able
Yes.
to find a lot.
But you can give us suggestions.
Can I
I'm
give
bad at thinking on
suggestions,
the
Tygon?
spot.
Can I give suggestions, Tygon?
If
Never mind.
yeah, I'll allow a suggestion.
It almost seems like then that they were already missing people or something. I.e., perhaps not as many people perished in the wreck as we're being led to believe. Perhaps they were missing crew long before they crashed on Europa's surface, and we should investigate why they crashed and possibly where the rest of the crew went.
Okay.
That just seems suspicious that a professional rescue crew was not able to find very many people.
Anything particular you would like to ask, Trish?
Trying to think, but I can't think of anything. This is one of the situations where the player doesn't know.
Well, then maybe the character knows. Give me a mind exert logic roll.
Mind exert logic?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This is not going to end well. Went better than I thought.
All right. Yeah, that is a good roll. You asked them. You basically the people the people that they were able to rescue. Did they? You asked them if they do or say if they said or did anything unusual, and yeah, definitely of the progenitors people, a few of them were in shock, and actually that talking with something attacking them, things coming from the vents.
Oh.
And I mean it's not that unusual to that when people after a crash are like babbling weird things, but that was that was a little odd. And normally that would have been grounds for an investigation, but obviously the ship sank, so not an option.
And they couldn't recover the ship.
And the other people, the who were obviously rescuees on the ship, they got the impression that they were a group, that they were like working together, and Guy.
Yes.
I would like another roll from you. Even though you can't effectively questioning these people, you can still listen. So please give me a community perceive communications roll.
Snarly, angry doggo does not want to listen, but will for the sake of his friends. Communications roll. Perceive.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I has boon in communication.
Ooh.
And
No, you don't want communication, because that's just how to communicate with cows.
there.
Not even like vector cows, just regular cows.
Hey man, you gotta tell them sweet nothing so you can get that sweet Kobe beef.
Oy.
There's something vaguely disturbing about that.
Okay. That was a good roll. So a few things, that you pick up because while Libby is not Libby, Trish, sorry, starting to mix up the characters here. While Trish is questioning them, the other guys they're kind of talking to, like that guy that lost a hand and wow, that was gruesome, yeah, and those people, blah, blah, blah. And you pick up a few things. Like for example, you pick up that there were 2 girls among this group. Like they're calling them just those blip girls, and they were pretty distraught that they had to leave a computer behind.
Oh.
Which is unusual in that thing that they say it's weird. I mean, they can just get a new one and download the data from the cloud. So what's the big deal?
Can I ask him for more information, like what type of computer it was? See if it's like the same one that you guys found.
They have no idea.
Let's see. They didn't overhear anything about what was on the computer.
There were different worries at the time. Then they were trying to rescue these people from a ship that was about to sink into a 25-mile deep abyss. They couldn't really worry about any luggage they were leaving behind.
Who says it was luggage? I can't actually ask the question, but instead we'll growl about it under breath.
Oh, that's even creepier than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
On the lark, I just Google searched how deep is Europa's ocean.
Deep.
The outer layer of water is about 62 miles deep.
The outer layer.
The outer layer, because it's theorized that there's actually several layers of like ice and water, but the outermost ocean of Europa is 62 miles deep. Oh, that's terrifying. Sorry, open ocean kind of creeps me out.
Says the person playing someone who likes to live in space! An open void!
Yeah, but you can't.
Yeah, but you'll.
There isn't that sensation of you're just gonna drop.
I know what you're feeling. I kind of have that weird, creepy thing too. And if you can't see the bottom, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say in space you see everything.
I would like to note that
Oh, man.
there's a layer of ice around it, so this is actually a very closed ocean. It's not open.
The deepest part of Earth's ocean is just under 7 miles deep.
Yeah, so yeah. Europa is a scary place before you even get into the weird nonsense. Anyway.
Let's see. Do you have any contact information to find these girls?
No.
Dang.
But they do point out the little adoption show thing. But that's all they can tell you.
So what do you think, Guy?
I'll bet you anything they were indies.
I'm pretty darn sure, but
If
you want to go through several hundred of them, we're not going to be able to find them.
they are pretty sure that the names were like Cindy or Bindi or something like that. Like both of the names, which they do think is really weird. They looked very similar, so they were guessing they were sisters. But then again, at least I mean these guys aren't experts, obviously, but they are pretty sure they were that they were blips.
Blip.
Which is really weird because it's kind of rare that you see blips that look exactly the same. They aren't usually mass produced, but somebody really rich, they might get two of them. So they were guessing that they were some sort of sisters, and sisters with such a similar name are
Have terrible parents.
Yeah. It's not nice to talk that way about people you don't know, but yeah.
Let's see. What other information we could get out here?
Any signs of nymph activity?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Said things were coming out of the vents. Was there anything there to kind of figure out what it was?
Nymphs? No, just can't think how they don't have nymphs on spaceships. They're barely any on Europa. You know, in some of the larger domes that have parks, they have nymphs, of course, but other than that. And besides, nymphs are tiny.
How do we put that? There's nymphs, and then there's nymphs.
Like the smart ones versus the bugs, or I should say the big people-sized one that eats others.
The smart one, the big people-sized ones. That's not something people know about.
Yep, that's
true.
No, it was just a chat. It was just a joke. There's nymphs and then there's nymphs. I would specifically point out that that doesn't mean that these have been heavily modified to be completely unrecognizable compared to the ones that we know.
Well, nothing they could see, but you know they didn't actually spend much time on the ship.
Well, yeah, and the other thing is, you know, we don't know everything.
yeah.
We don't know all that happened. And maybe it did happen.
Do we know, like what they did with was there any effort to recover the ship?
No.
Now they can only go 61 miles down.
There was a little outpost set up on the spot where the where the ship crashed. But as far as they know, nothing ever came out of it. It's too deep for recovery, and frankly, I'm not sure why they bother to set up anything. It's just it's gone. That's just something you accept. You know, that if it goes down to the ocean, then kiss it goodbye, or don't, because it's already gone.
Good point.
If the I don't actually have to know that Foya.
How's it spelled?
The native creatures of Europe.
Oh,
that TTI
yes.
reintroduced.
Yeah, those things, the big scary albino aquatic things.
Yeah, if they or the orcas don't get you, then the pressure. So
Yeah.
Yeah, those orcas scare me. Let's see. I can't think of anything else myself. So unless guy has anything else.
Nope. All I can think of is, hey, don't be dickbags, guys. And, what's the other thing?
Sorry for the awkwardness before.
I can't. I'm not talking to them. I'm just listening to you talk to them because they're not talking to me. They don't take me seriously at all.
I sense a little bit of defensiveness from Guy.
The short one is very aware that he's short and does not need to be reminded that he is short and small and fluffy.
But he does
He
need to be
knows.
reminded that he's adorable.
He knows this. Stop calling him. Stop telling him he's cute. He knows he's cute. He doesn't like it.
I had to find that. That's how it's spelled. I have no idea how it's that.
Boa?
Bleh.
I'm pretty sure not that.
Bleh. I can't.
Word vomit.
Those vowels, I don't know how they go together like that.
It almost looks
Foya?
Celtic.
Fuea? Paella?
I'm just gonna call him Foya.
I have
Tom
no idea.
Foya.
We probably have to ask that.
Tom Foya. They're trying to get you to paint the underside of the, of the spire.
Oh lord.
Okay.
Apparently FOIA stands for Friends of the Earth Australia.
Oh, they're Australians. They're even more dangerous.
No.
And not just underwater monsters, they're Australian underwater.
I'm sorry if there's any viewers from Australia. You're just such fun people. I just can't help it.
If we have viewers from Australia, I gotta wonder what the hell they're doing here.
I always gotta wonder, how do they not fall off the Earth? I mean, they're upside down.
Oh my god.
I was more referencing apparently extremely hostile fauna of Australia.
Yeah.
I think the flora too.
Yeah, the floor is pretty hostile too.
I mean, at least as far as I know, their weather's not hostile, other than being hot.
No, it's pretty hostile. I would count dying of horrific temperatures as pretty hostile.
Oh, I consider that normal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, then you can leave these brave rescue people to their jobs and we shall do a little scene change and go to our other contestants. Players.
Victims? What?
Sorry, what?
All of the above.
Milo and Kura.
Ah, yes.
Hello.
You are once again getting an escort into a not publicly accessible area of the Spear of Heaven, and soon find yourself in the little computer lab. where you've been once before. And sure enough, there are you two data experts, Scott and I forgot the name. Gina.
Yes.
Who look who look very excited to see you. Says, well, we have Scott says, we have good news. We have good news. Gina, actually, it's more bad news. Well, good news and bad news. So, which do you want first?
I suppose lay it on the bad news.
Okay, the bad news, Gina. Yeah, the bad news is I'm afraid there's I never asked. Was it a friend of yours, a comrade? Anyway, whoever this is, I'm afraid we won't be able to assemble this personality construct. With a lot of time and effort, we might be able to, but they wouldn't be the same person.
I understand. I was doing some research on my own time, and a lot of what I was finding, far be it from me to claim myself an expert, but, well...
He shrugs and says,
I was starting to come to terms with that. Still, thanks for trying.
Yeah. But like I said, we also have good news. Yes, the good news is this is Scott. I've been working on the rest of the data.
mm-hmm.
To reconstruct this. There's not much usable data. That I was really extract from this data core. Although by the looks of it, this was from the from a station on Callisto, right? If it's just the data you're after, you can probably get it. They usually do semi-regular data dumps from places like that, so there's probably a copy of it somewhere. However, so I didn't really put that much effort into reconstructing the data itself, because, like I said, you can just get a copy of it somewhere. I don't know how secret it is, so you probably have to jump through some hoops to get it, but totally possible. Instead, I focused on the access logs, because I figured that would make much more sense.
You're not wrong. I'm curious about that myself.
Yeah, I was able to find a few things. There were pretty much all the data access stopped at some point, except for this terminal where the data construct are. There was still a lot going on there. Until this point, I show you like a timeline and graphs and stuff. And this is actually not that much beyond you or Milo. You know, this is a list of access to what people do. It's not complete. There's obviously stuff missing, but you do sort of recognize things.
Mm-hmm.
And this like a couple of weeks ago, somebody once again accessed things. And in particular this terminal. And Scott says, I can't be 100% sure that there's just too much data corruption. but I'm fairly confident in saying that somebody did make a copy of this this personality construct.
Do you know who?
Interesting.
I can't possibly say.
Can you tell when they took a copy? Like before it got messed up?
Yes, definitely. As far as we can say, is that that the whole data corruption. We did tell you that it was probably this data construct that destroyed everything, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happened afterwards.
Oh.
We have a theory, but understand this is really just a theory. This is based on some experience you have, Gina, right? Yeah. But really understand this is just a theory. We can just there's just no way of telling that this happens. Our guess is that somebody came in, made a copy of this data construct, and we're doing a lot of assumptions here, but assuming they told them that they told this person in the computer, we're gonna get you out. And they had been alone for weeks in this thing, so they were probably eager to get out. And you said you did some research, so you probably know it's not like a transfer. It's copying. It's data. So they were not really taking. You appear to be muted.
Oh, yeah, sorry. There we go. Kurt kind of follows along and says,
So when they made the copy, the one stuck in the machine lost it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hmm.
They expect it to be taken out of the computer, but that's just not how it works. They copied the data onto onto a new machine, but obviously the data that was in the that was in the terminal remained there.
Oh.
And I've seen this before. A lot of people don't realize that this is how this works, and when they're faced with the reality, they often get angry. I can see somebody just lashing out.
Milo's definitely has like that 1,000-yard stare of like wrapping his head around the implications of this. Just like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of horrifying, but, well, it is what it is.
Yep. This is our best guess.
Honestly, it seems pretty spot on, but, well, just need to find out where the other copy is of the personality constructs, and then find the data dump from the research site.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. If there's anything specific you want from this, I can try and reconstruct it. But you need to be really specific. I can't focus my attention on one thing, but I can't just give you everything. There's just no way.
if you have any leads on where to find this other copy, then that'd be great. But, well,
he just has his eyes go white for a moment, then he shakes his. No. There's no way to tell. No, it could be anything. The data could be on a little. Could be on a simple data storage device as long as it's big enough. It could be on another machine. There's no way of telling.
right. Well, if you find anything else, let us know. But we have some leads. That's more than we started with. So thank you.
No, of course, it's our job.
And I guess with that, we should meet up with the others.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got
Alright.
some good news to bring back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you are escorted out again,
Mm-hmm.
and yep, are free to meet up with the others and exchange informations.
Sounds good to me.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
All right, what next?
Well, with all the information that we've put together, Kura's gonna kind of scrunch up his face, sigh heavily, and go,
I think that computer that they didn't want to leave behind on the ship. I think that's where the data went. Just a hunch.
Yeah.
I mean, these people were aboard the Progenitus rescue ship. They were not Progenitus crew, ergo, they were rescued. They were unwilling to leave a computer behind because of sentimental value. Even I'm not sentimental about my tech. So,
Yeah, who would do that? Shifty Eyes.
I mean,
Kura kind of looks around at the group.
who wants to go swimming?
Squints really hard.
Looks over at Julius. Even though his Flutter's not here.
Well,
Julius is currently stuck in the disco ball, going, I'm in here, help me!
all right, Kate 6.
Yeah. We talked to some of the survivors or rescuers, whoever we like to call them. The only real information we were able to glean from them is obviously they were attacked by nymphs, and two of the little girls were quite upset that they had to leave a computer behind.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, we didn't really get too much from them. I mean, really, they're just there to rescue people.
So, I guess, our next test would be to find however we're gonna recover this Data.
What about Livy? Is she gonna be okay? Is there like a copy of her down there?
Possibly.
Possibly. If not, it's at least the best place we have to look.
I mean, it's not the best place we have to look, it's the only place. The place sucks.
Well, the alternative is literally everywhere else. At least this is a direction.
Trish is definitely kind of more concerned about Libby versus the data.
Well, Libby kind of is the data.
True.
Digitized Libby's. Coming to a store near you. Oh no, that might actually be the case. Oh no! What has science done?
I guess we're going down. Is there like a submarine or something? I mean, I've heard like the water here is 62 miles deep, and I don't know how far the ship actually sunk.
No way of knowing until we find out more.
I would assume all the way, unless air pockets. Buoyancy and things. I forget. What's Milo's engineering thing? How much of this would he know?
Actually, Kura spent most of his life disassembling starship wrecks. Can he roll for that?
You can try.
All right. I'm assuming Mind Exert.
Yes.
Milo might be able to assist. He has 3 engineering.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll to assist.
Oh, there it goes. Well,
A 12, a 16, and a 1.
what did we say we were rolling?
Engineering.
Mind Exert Engineering.
Mind Exert, okay. I wanted to double check. So... Hey, not too bad.
You don't really have experiences how spaceships react when submerged. At least not, miles and miles deep.
Right.
We're not physicists.
I think it is possible, if the hull isn't too damaged, that that the hull could withstand a certain amount of pressure and actually remain buoyant to some degree. So, in your opinion, yeah, there's a chance.
It might not be too excessively deep.
Yeah, I mean, it's theorized to be 62 miles deep at the deepest point, so...
Yeah, I missed a little bit of that.
Can we determine roughly where it would have crashed into the ocean?
I mean, we have the crash site. We could extrapolate data from there to see where it might have sunk.
I'm sure they have some kind of sensor to actually tell where it is.
I mean, if not, we have a shark boy who can smell electromagnetic fields.
Over how much space? Europa's ocean is like...
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we can get kind of close, is the idea.
And would you be able to sense a difference in electromagnetic fields inside a submarine? Because this isn't something where you can roll the window down and stick your head outside.
Fair, but also I fish. I might actually be able to handle some pressure.
Some. I'd love to see a fish try and handle 62 miles deep pressure.
There's probably some deep water sharks. You don't know that.
I mean, Yes, but they're calibrated for like a couple of miles.
Also, it's 200 feet.
Well, there's orcas down there.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that.
200 feet range. While submerged.
Too bad.
20 outside of water, 200 within range. So if I sniff the ship, if I stick my sniffer...
I'm going to interrupt all this
Mhm.
for a moment and point out that, yes, getting down there would be a wonderful thing. It'd be a great thing. But who the hell cares that much about one person? We don't have the money necessary to get down there. And unless TTI cares to do it, there's no way to get down there. Even more so, who's to say that TTI is gonna have us be the ones to do it?
These are all fair points.
As much as I hate to admit it, I think we're at a wall here. I've gone as far as I can go. I want to help her, but I don't know that it's viable for me to do so. I don't think I even can. Now we can present our findings to Director Bowman and hope he has some sense of mercy, but it might be cheaper and therefore more likely to not do anything.
I would like to point out, I really like the juxtaposition of guys doing what Milo did, like, a couple plot points ago, which is, we can't do this. This isn't our job anymore.
Well, it's not even
Yeah.
that. It's just pointing out, it's not something that he doesn't want to do. This is something he very much does.
Yeah.
It's just the limitation of money and power
Yeah.
and therefore ability is very apparent.
Well, I have 1,400 credits.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, because that was Milo's thing with the Vitae demon was, we're not equipped for this. We shouldn't be here anymore. We should call the guys with the big guns. I mean, it worked out fine, but...
But, yeah. So, Kura's just gonna shrug and say,
I don't see what the point of being all doom and gloom and getting yourself worked up about not being able to before we've done any research into seeing how viable it's gonna be. I mean, who knows, maybe it hit an ice shelf a couple 100 feet down.
There is still more information we need to gather.
Exactly. Let's gather the information first before jumping to conclusions.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying, if it's as bad as it seems to be, I don't think there's anything we're going to be able to do, my friends. I'll hope
Kurt.
against hope, but...
Kura shrugs and says,
Again, I really don't see much the point of thinking like that at this juncture. We haven't even looked into it. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go look into this.
and Kura's gonna see, like, does he have access to, is there any way I can find access to, like, planetary, like, you know how you can get, like, geological surveys of ocean floor and stuff like that? Get depth? Like, he's gonna see if he can't find charts for that area and run some math to see where, like, it might have sunk to, like, as far as depth. Before he even starts looking at chartering a submarine, like, how far down would we have to go? That's what Kura's gonna work on next.
Okay, yeah, you can find such data. That would require a mind exert science roll.
I can do that, I think.
All he's doing is
Actually, I have no rank in science, so I'm just gonna be rolling mind exert.
Is there any, like, beacon or a way to, like, ping the ship, or would it be Or is the ship not transmitting anything?
I mean, I highly doubt it'd be transmitting anything.
Just thinking there's some kind of nav beacon that might still be working or something like that, so we can actually get its exact location.
Who knows? Might be worth checking.
You can try checking for that, yeah.
Trish has no idea how to go about checking this. She's not a smart doggo.
Well, smart doggo or not, who here has science?
I think I have a little bit. Oops.
Not Trish.
Not that tab. Never mind, I do not. I thought I did.
Damn it, Melly, you switched out from the TTI burb. We need the TTI burb.
No.
The obligatory TTI birds. I now have the mental image that it's mostly birds.
Yes.
Yeah, the only two characters who had any science were both birds, and they're both not part of this group anymore.
Yeah, I know, right?
And we're trying to kind of save one of them.
Yeah.
This is weird.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna roll raw mind exert. Wish me luck.
Libby was, in fact, a very sciencey person. She didn't act it, but she was.
Oh, she had her moments.
Well, I got an 8.
Yeah.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, and I assist.
No.
Okay.
Denied.
Yeah, but that's, you still can't really say much beyond. Yeah, it's probably there. No, there's just too much. You you don't have like super detailed data.
Mm-hmm.
And say you don't know, assuming you don't know the exact composition of the ice, so you don't know if there is if it might have gotten stuck somewhere, or if there is any ice that it might be resting on. You assuming the ship remained buoyant to some degree, you don't know at what depth it would be. You don't know. So you don't know if currents might have moved it.
This sounds like a job for the rescue people that we spoke to earlier. Or like maybe one of their higher ups.
The rescue people told you it's gone. There's just no. Once something sinks down there, it is, for all intents and purposes, not there anymore.
Which is exactly why a guy was saying what he was saying.
Trish is just gonna throw out that like ping idea though. Is there a way to figure out like the code for the distress beacon on or something like that?
As a note, little whisper from the GM. This might be another good moment to send a message to your superior. You know, say, hey, we got some new data, but they have no idea how to proceed from here on.
Mm-hmm.
We got some of your data, but it's floating somewhere at the bottom of Europa's ocean.
Hey, boss, we need funding.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk to Bowman and be like, hey, do you have a submarine?
I mean, I was just enjoying this conversation, so.
Hey, buddy, you wouldn't happen to have a submarine to get that thing that you wanted, would you?
Hey, boss
Yeah,
man.
because that thing's like at the bottom of an ocean. You want to go get it?
Hey, boss man, can we have some more money? We need more resources to do the job. No? Oh. Okay. We'll make one out of
Okay,
duct tape and
bud.
gum then.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we'll type up a message to Director Bowman.
All right. How
I
much
just like
are
the
you?
music playing right now in the background. It's just spitting.
How much are you telling him?
That the data, at least part of the data that we're looking for, is currently made it onto a Progenitus rescue ship. We confirmed it with Scott Walters and Dr. Sheena that there was data access around that time, and that likely it made it onto the Progenitus ship, and we interviewed people at the crash site that said that there were computers on board that might have had the data. So if we want to investigate further, we're going to need access to the crash site. Because about 1/2 of the data we want is currently on that ship.
Okay. Anything else?
I can't think of anything else to add, but do we want to mention that Libby is on that drive? Possibly.
I mean, not specifically. I mean, I'd still like to put, hey, that thing you wanted us gets there. Like, I would word it that way, but yeah.
I don't know. There seems to be some other important data as well.
I would like to note the purpose of your mission is to find Libby.
Mhm.
That's the reason.
That's
why
the purpose we're here, and that's the data that he wanted.
Mhm.
The reason
Yeah.
we're being so finicky about wording it properly isn't because we don't want him to know that it's Libby that's in there. No, that's the point. The problem is someone else is going to get a look at this information, and we don't know who that someone is.
Someone might get a
Yeah.
look at this information, and we are a bunch of paranoid bastards.
Yeah. So I guess Girl will. Do I need to roll like community exert subterfuge to communicate the urgent point of this is exactly the data you hired us to retrieve? We need to do this.
At least if you want it. If you decide that that's not
Yeah,
the case,
like,
then
take it- either forward us our paychecks now, or we need to start talking about getting recovery equipment.
Mhm.
You could maybe just put she's there.
I'd say that'd be a little on the nose. I think you'll get the point if.
Target has been
Okay.
located.
Give me a community exert subterfuge roll.
Okay. And I have a simplify in this. I'm not
Oh,
sure what
no.
that does.
In this set of the rules, it means bonds do not cancel.
Okay. Oh. All right. 13, 8, 10.
As I was say, simplifies have changed a bit.
Okay. You write your message, you send it off, and you get to wait again.
Joy.
Just fiddles with her knives.
This time the reply comes a good deal quicker. It's about 2.5, 3 hours. Again, it is fairly brief, and basically says, contact this person, tell them I sent you.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good to me.
Do we know this person's name?
Highly unlikely. Do you have TTI background?
Nope.
New
Just
spyglass
the
and
verbs.
ASR.
I've got a pair of thumbs and a whole lot of fuzzy hate. That's all I got. And apparently that too.
You can try and look it up if you like.
Yeah.
Sure, let's Google this guy's name.
Something I get the feeling you like to forget. You know, Googling somebody is always an option.
That's about as computer savvy as Trish gets as far as like in-depth research. Google. I mean, I guess, I don't know if you want to get any information on him before you meet him, or just say, whatever, just caution to the wind and meet him.
Well, does anybody want to look it up, or are you just going there, or are you doing something completely different?
Well, look it up and cross-reference the information and contact them, I guess. But do a little bit of research first, I guess.
We must do research.
Okay. I would like a mind perceived digital operate check then.
Okay. I have 2
And
ranks in that.
in this case, one of you does this check, the others may roll to assist.
Yay!
All right, so Milo should do that. I'm going to assist.
I guess Trish will assist a little bit. Not much.
But alternatively, protocol is also an option.
I
Mm,
suck at protocol.
protocol.
Oh, that's
I do
not
have better. What does a boon again do? That's D12s, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That was for protocol.
Not bad, not bad.
All right. You are not able to find much. However, the person you are told to contact is named Tempa Victoria. Not difficult spelling, but that's how it is. You find out that there's some sort of seal, apparently. You are she is called Illuminator. This is some sort of title. You can't actually find out anything what that means. That's just basically her job title. The way somebody else might be, I don't know, pilot. But you do find several references about deep sea exploration missions.
Oh. Cool. That sounds right up our alley, actually.
Sounds like our girl.
All right, so I guess do some after doing some research, we should just get in contact.
Okay, how do you contact her?
What was the contact information given? Was it like a call extension? Was it just a name?
The name, obviously. Basic sort of email address or whatever they actually use in HSD.
Space
Right.
And actually an address where to find her.
Is this
Well,
address?
this is pretty urgent, so I'd say go visit.
Yeah.
Same.
Guy from has flipped a complete 180 with the idea that this is actually viable, that this is something that he can actually do, has become all for this and has demanded that he go right this minute, if it's at all possible.
That is possible.
Is the address on the Spear of Heaven?
Yes, actually.
Off we go.
Not like nearby, because this is a freaking huge building, but it is within not walking distance, but you can get there. Yes.
Hail a cab, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, the space
Spacey
tram.
Yep. Okay.
In such a huge construct, it's probably some sort of elevator.
Yeah.
Space elevator. The 3D space elevator.
But yeah, I'd say just head straight there, and that way we can properly state how urgent to us this is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. The address you've been given contains a few let's call them passwords,
Mm-hmm.
which get you a good deal closer, let's put it that way, than normally. Because this is normally the kind of person you would, if you get in contact with them at all, you would need an appointment.
Right.
No, this is not just somebody you just ring the bell and talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, after going through quite a few like assistant / secretary sort of people, you are standing in front of a door to an office.
On the way there, Trish wants to look up what an illuminator does. If there's any information on that.
They hold flashlights. Turns out Kale and I have had illuminators riding around on our back the entire time.
Does that mean people who are bioluminescent have tiny illuminators locked inside of them?
Yes. They are actually composite mecha.
Question.
Yes.
Since we are looking up this illuminator person. Hold on, let me give me a moment. I have to make sure I'm looking at the right ability. Okay, I'm looking at the right ability. Can I use form follows function to determine what the illuminator does? You can look at a piece of equipment, a ship, a building, or even a person, and gain knowledge about its role and what it is designed to fill based on their construction or attire.
Okay. That not yet, because you're not actually seeing the person.
Okay, this is fair. I was thinking like, oh, maybe we can look up the title and like get a picture of the current Illuminator or something.
You can totally look up the title, but it is extremely vague, and just it appears to have something to do with research.
Okay, well, okay. You mentioned that already. I was just thinking, oh, there might be a picture along with this vague information.
No.
Okay.
It is a picture of a flashlight.
Yes, please.
Yeah, unfortunately, you look up
Picture.
TTI Illuminator, and it's just like a selfie that posted on social media of him and his little bioprobe buddy.
I'm just still wondering where the heck you guys got those things.
On Venus.
None your business.
Excuse me, goodness gracious.
Sounds like someone's a sleepy peepee. A sweepy sheepy. You stop that.
No, I'm fine. I just haven't had enough coffee today, so I'm still waking up. Yes, I've been up for about 6 hours, and I'm still waking up.
I'm hungry.
Sure.
Give
Right.
him.
Moment is given. Would you like another?
I mean, I've been
Yes.
awake for almost 10.
My kitten's just sitting here purring away as I hold the brush.
Purr, purr,
If she
purr.
wants.
Give this to me. No. Give this to me. No.
I eat this? No.
Like, she's literally trying to eat it.
Mhm.
Why do you want to eat this?
I
Because
eat
it's
this.
fun.
Which is the stupid button? There, that should be it.
I'm not sure about the stupid button, but
Shut up.
Nah.
It's right next to the any key.
I'm so proud of that joke right there. That is fantastic. To continue, press any key. Where's the any key?
oh god.
Wait, am I going through a lot of thing? Yes, I am. I already did this. I'm so.
I think that's one thing about a
I prepared for once. I prepared something. I completely forgot about it.
You are, in fact, prepared.
Yes, you are prepared.
Whoa.
You know, I think we grossly underestimate the amount of fur that would come off of just about everything being covered in it. Like, I just pulled a pretty good sized ball of hair off my cat.
Mhm.
Somehow she's still shedding.
I mean, would vectors shed like their normal animal counterparts? That's the question.
I would assume. I mean, it's fur.
Yeah.
Okay. I reverse my statement. You actually because after checking something, you actually do find a picture of this person. There.
Ooh.
I love the coat. I
Mhm.
want that coat.
I kind of want that coat.
Also, she's adorable.
Me too, actually. I wouldn't mind having a coat like that.
Is that from one of the books?
Yes.
That is official artwork.
That's
Fancy
very
pants.
Official artwork I can show off on the stream through the magic of tabs.
Okay. So, yeah, you are in front of Temper Victoria's office.
Ring the doorbell / knock / whatever the protocol would be to politely request entry.
Politely request entry.
After a moment's delay, there's a muffled yes, enter.
And enter.
And you are faced with the real person. Sitting behind her desk and obviously working. And as she looks up, she seems very surprised because she clearly hasn't expected a bunch of strangers suddenly coming into her office. Like she normally has personnel to keep people like that away from.
Yeah, who let this riffraff in? No, Kuro will immediately lead with,
I am sorry for the interruption, but Director Bowman sent us.
Her eyes narrow for a moment, and then she nods. Ah, yes, he did send me a message. It's about that stupid progenitor's ship, isn't it?
Yep, unfortunately, yes. There is, some personnel that we wish to recover, as it were.
She ponders that for a moment. Well, I'm sure I do not need to tell you that it's extremely unlikely that anybody's still alive.
That's the thing. We're not talking flesh and blood, we're talking a backup.
Oh,
A brain scan, specifically.
okay.
There was an individual, the individual that Director Bowman sent us to hire, or hired us to find, rather, who made a last-minute copy of her brain before expiring. We need to find her, and the last backup we know of was on that ship.
Interesting. Well, that increases the chances.
It's a long shot, but we're hired to do a job, so we're doing it. Plus, well, it's the right thing to do.
All right. I see. Well, I am going to tell you right away, this is not going to be easy, and it's not going to be harmless either. That ship picked a very inconvenient spot to crash.
Is there a convenient spot to crash? I mean, I grew up on Ganymede.
I guess out in a field of pillows?
Okay, let me rephrase that. It picked a very inconvenient spot to sink.
Fair. What are the specifics?
She's looking. I'm afraid I don't have the data on me right now. But admittedly, it's not the worst spot, but still there's FOA activity in that area.
Oh, great.
Sorry, what kind of activity?
The
It's the
native
critter.
the native creatures of Europa.
Oh. They're...
Well, they're good news though. Our last scan showed that it didn't actually sink all the way.
Really?
Yeah, there's apparently an amount of buoyancy left. It's if I remember correctly, the last scan showed it at a depth of about 11 miles.
Only 11 miles, huh?
That's still pretty deep, but it's better than it could be, I guess.
That is, in fact, a good deal deeper than any vessel of ours officially went.
And what about unofficially?
I don't think that's our business.
Well, actually, according to the message Bauman sent me, it is your business. However, I'm just reminded you that you are under a very strict NDA regarding these things.
Yeah, we know the drill. Don't say anything.
Exactly. So, yeah, no, we definitely can go that deep.
What's the catch?
The catch is, like I said, it is dangerous.
I mean, I've heard the horror stories, but, well, while we're under NDA, can you give us any hints as to the actual risks?
Like I said, the fur, whatever, you know what I mean. They are active in that area. On the bright side, no recent Orca probe activity, so that's a blessing. It's the inherent danger is we can go that deep, but it's still dangerous.
Right.
I mean, I am correct in assuming that you have traveled through space, yes?
Most of my life, yeah.
A few times now.
A bit.
Space is easy to travel through. It is empty. The oceans are not.
Right.
Obviously.
It is actually a lot more difficult and a lot more dangerous.
Not. Shark.
It's not going to help you much. That deep.
No. Nodding because shark.
Oh, okay.
Sharky agreements.
Regardless. I will set up everything. It's going to take me a couple of days. We had considered an exploration to that ship, mostly out of simple curiosity while thinking. It doesn't happen very often that we get to watch the effect of that amount of pressure on the spaceship. Unfortunately, curiosity is not quite enough to pay for this. However, since the circumstances have somewhat changed, we can make use of this. But like I said, it's still going to take me a few days, and you will need some instructions. So we're not letting completely untrained personnel go on such a journey.
That's fair.
We'll need a list of supplies as well.
No, you don't. You have never done anything like this. Do you think I will let you take care of that?
True.
Guys just looking at everybody like, y'all, I think we should just let the lady do her job, and then when it comes time for us to go down there, we do ours.
Yeah.
You have waters here somewhere, right?
That's correct.
In that case, go back to them. Oh, give me all your contact information so I can let you know when we're ready.
Ura does so.
Sends her an email with the information.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, this case, she takes a deep breath. Thanks for a moment. That is all for now. I will contact you when I have more information.
Oh, I have one last question.
Yes.
What does an illuminator do? I find the truth in places nobody wants to look. Let's see. Trish is just gonna like think that over.
So that blurry gray ground between exploration and research.
She thinks about that for a moment and then actually smiles and nods. Yeah, that puts it pretty well.
Kura kind of nods and says,
Then you're a braver person than I am.
Mm.
That is
Guy
all a matter of
really sure
respect.
he understands, but he'll let that go. So long as it means that he can help rescue his friend, he's happy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, you are dismissed. And with that, I think we shall call it here for today.
righto.
Okay. Go here.
You are getting let me think. Let's say 11 XPs.
Ooh. Yeah.
And 50 credits.
Excellent. Oops. No, this isn't the 38th session.
And a couple of days to yourself.
All right.
Hey, free time.
Yeah, in that case, I might actually spend some XP.
Mm-hmm.
But you are free to do that. Credit purchases, XP spending is all an option.
Yeah, I have close to 2,000 credits. I have no idea what to spend on.
Clearly nothing but, like, biomods and crazy pulse surgeries.
Okay, that is probably not really an option.
Darn.
Although in Trish's case, we can argue that she got those in the meantime.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
but that's not Trish. She doesn't do augmentation and stuff.
There we go.
She's
Or-
very all natural.
I just realized that I
Alright.
never updated the little X's upon my the main part of the character sheet.
In any case, questions, complaints. Death threats to the GM.
No.
No, none of that.
All I know right now, I'm honestly kind of hungry.
Okay. Well, in that
Yeah,
case,
that's
Razzie stopped the stream. Bye, viewers.
Farewell, viewers.
Bye. Okay, so there goes stream, and there goes.